So, hello everyone. Namaskar doston. This is Manav. And today in the topper session, we have AIR 04 All India Rank 4 AILET Ayesha Khan. Hello Ayesha, how are you?
Hi, sir. I'm good. I'm very happy, of course.
And Ayesha is such a wonderful student. I remember teaching her in the beginning of when did you join Mega GK?
So I don't remember. It's probably like 3-4 months ago.
Around 6 months ago because you joined
Yeah,
our
6 months. It
6 month batch.
was, oh yeah,
So
the June. I joined in
the
June.
June. In June, you joined us, and in the June batch, I remembered she came to the class in the beginning. She was live in the class, but then she started reading notes and having the what lecture recording lecture she used to see. And yesterday, Aisha's father called me and he told me that Aisha got All India rank 4, and that was a very happy sunshine moment for me, even in the night. And how are you feeling, Aisha? First of all, a brief introduction about yourself.
Right. So there's not much to say, but I'm Ayesha Khan, and I've been preparing for CLAT and AILET. I guess I properly started in December of last year, though I did it more rigorously since October of this year. I've always wanted to know. I did law since I have an elder brother who's a lawyer, so it was something I always was very set on. I don't know. My hobbies, I'm in grade 12, of course. My hobbies are just, I love reading, which obviously proved to my advantage since I've always loved to read and I'm a fairly fast reader. But yeah, that's about it. I was pretty excited about giving CLAT and AILET. Finally, they're over. So yeah, I'm really happy about my results too.
And you did your schooling from
I'm from Dean's Academy in Bangalore.
Bangalore, and you
Yeah.
did your complete schooling from Bangalore.
No, I am originally from Delhi. So I studied in Delhi, in Gurgaon actually, till I was in grade 5. And I moved here when I was in grade 6.
Okay, so from grade 6 to 12th, you were in
Yeah.
Bangalore.
Yeah.
Okay, well, very good, very good. And now, talking about your reading interest. So, since when you basically developed the interest in reading in your life?
Since as long as I can remember, honestly, because my family is full of readers. My mother and brother actually love reading. So since I was very young, I've been going to book fairs along with my family, and it's just been something that was inculcated in me very long ago. So it's always been a part of me. It's not something I developed for CLAT or even recently. It's something I've done forever.
Yeah, I can remember the same case of Anushka Dhankar last year. She was also a very vivid and avid reader, and she used to read a lot. And she also said the same answer that her family, the background of the family, basically inculcated the habit of reading in her, and then that helped her so much in the CLAT preparation, in the GK, in everything, in CR,
Right.
legal, and everything. That is very good. That is very good. So, how did your journey of this CLAT and AILET went on? See, there are some lows, some high in the journey. There are some point where a student see कि हो गया बस, I am done now, अभी नहीं करने का. There are some moment in which students see कि I am on the ninth cloud nine, है ना, no one can beat me. So, what is your journey?
Right. I mean, it's really true that it's a roller coaster, honestly. There's a lot of highs and lows. And I think since I gave a mock basically every day, it's like my entire day was determined by how my mock went. But I think an important thing to remember is that it obviously I'd also watched a lot of topper interviews before I gave the exam. So I knew that you would have good mocks and you would have bad ones. And I think the fact that I had a lot of friends who were giving CLAT with me, I knew that someday I'd get a lot better than them, and other days they'd get a lot better than me. So the what really remained at the crux of the matter is that you had to improve from each of them, and I could see a very clear improvement from when I'd started out, even though it wasn't very consistent. I did bad sometimes, but I had improved over time, and I don't think giving up CLAT was really a thing for me since I've always known I wanted to do law. So because of that, I just knew I had to at least give it my best shot. And you can't let a mock really determine your actual exam score, which is very important because I saw a lot of top interviews who done terribly even the mock before the actual exam. Even in my mock, I got like 84 in a fairly easy mock for ALET. But yeah, it really does not determine how actual exam is going to go. There's a lot of other factors at play.
Absolutely right. Again, I remember Nidhi Agarwal, AIR 2, 2021, And in 2021, when Nidhi gave the exam, a day or a couple of days before exam, she gave her mock and she get the lowest marks in the mock. And then she went to the exam, and then rest is history. Everyone knows. So yeah, it is true that the mock marks effect or the mock marks are important, but their importance is not because of marks. Their importance is because of the analysis that you can have from the mock. This is what we always teach in the class, that the analysis you are going to have from the mock, that is important. And mock is there not only to check your knowledge quotient out there in the test, it is going to check your emotional quotient, it is going to check your physical quotient, whether you can sit for 2 hours or not, it is going to check your knowledge quotient and many more things, so that you can get acclimatized for the exam day. That is important thing. And as you said that you have seen much of the toppers video, and all the toppers were saying that the mocks marks are important, but they are not that much important. And what is more important is whether a student is learning from those videos or not. That is important. That is important. So talking about AILET specifically, how much mock did you give for AILET?
Not too many. I mean, CLAT was a lot more since AILET was announced very recently. But I gave perhaps 10, 11 mocks for AILET. No, probably more than that. Maybe maximum 15.
15, maximum 15.
Yeah.
And when did you started preparing for AILET specifically, or did you prepare for AILET specifically?
I prepared for AILET alongside CLAT. I didn't do much in specific different from CLAT, especially GK was the same. And I don't remember when it was announced that AILET was going to be in December, but that's when I started. I hadn't given any AILET mocks before it was announced.
So you started for AILET in this December?
No, when it was announced that it was going to be in December.
Around October or November.
Yeah, around October, November.
October, November. And you prepared on the sidelines of CLAT. Every day you give some time for AILET.
Yeah, I mean, for logic and stuff, I'd give some time, and I'd give alternative mocks for CLAT and AILET.
Okay, that is very good. That is very good. That is a good approach. That one day you gave a mock of CLAT, one day you gave a mock of AILET, and you gave mock all the 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, I take breaks on some days. This is different for everyone, I think, because a lot of friends I knew who also did really well gave a lot lesser mocks than me.
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but for me, I enjoyed giving mocks. It helped me feel productive, and I enjoyed scoring them and knowing about them. As long as I didn't worry too much about how I did in comparison to others, I enjoyed practicing. So
that is what you said now. It is very important, and we'll highlight it in the video, because see, each and every student out there giving more and more mock does not basically directly proportionate you to your success. Giving less and less mock does not directly proportionate to you to your failure. It is about the quality of your concentration of the mock. And if you love the procedure, if your way of learning is via mock, you can give more mock. But if your mocks are hampering your preparation, if you are each and every time cursing yourself while giving the mock, please take a break and understand the whole procedure. Please take a break and understand the whole procedure, because this is how it is. This is how it is. And talking about GK, as you said, how much MEGAGK as an institution, and in what perspective MEGAGK as an institution helped you in your preparation?
Right. I mean, GK was always by far my worst section. And even when I gave the exam, it was definitely the hardest for me. And it was something which I wasn't very good at. I wasn't good at remembering things. So, and also because the problem with CLAT and AILET is that they have no set syllabus. So you can get GK from anywhere. So I was trying to read from a lot of sources. So from MEGAGK, since I am better at remembering things or understanding things when I read them as opposed to watching them, I mainly use the written notes in which it was already marked like extra points and stuff. So I use those notes, and I mean, I also made my own notes from those notes or from like Drishti IS, from any other sources that I had. And I kept the app Notion. I made notes on that app along with a few friends I had. So we studied together. And yeah, I covered as much as I could, though in the end in CLAT, literally nothing came which I read about, but it helped a lot in AILET. Yeah.
So how much marks you got in GK section?
In AILET? I got 20.
20. So 20 is a good marks. 20 is a good marks. We in our video, when we checked that how many questions that we have covered in AILET, so we have covered 27 questions out of 30 in our notes. And Shubham, AIR 2, he got 26.5 marks in AILET. And we have covered 23 number of marks in CLAT, and Shubham got 22.5 marks in CLAT. So he was just to the point that we have covered, and that is, it is a very high score for AILET. 26.5 marks is a very high score for AILET GK. So as for CLAT, this year the CLAT paper GK is, you have seen the paper. It is something to the next level. I think they are basically in contact with Elon Musk, and they are taking the paper to the Mars, because the type of GK they are asking in the paper. So this year we covered 23 questions. So added to GK, or added to the institution, added to Mega GK, what other institutions that you took and helped you in your preparation?
So I was a career launcher. I am part of career launcher.
Very good.
Bangalore classroom student, and I was in the 2-year batch. So I didn't attend classes as much, but I gave every single one of their mocks as well. So I gave all of the career launcher mocks, which helped a lot. Then I had my own study group. So we studied together, and also it helps in motivation and stuff to really keep you going in such an exam. So that was a thing. But yeah, career launcher mocks is what I gave all
Okay, so you gave only career launcher mocks or any other coaching mocks also?
I gave a few legal edge on the side, but yeah, I gave maybe.
Okay, you basically gave career launcher mocks. Added to that, added to the institution or the mentors or the material in your family, because I have had words with your father a couple of times, and he's such a sorted person. Yesterday also he is very sorted. He said that we have not checked the CLAT till now. The elite result came. We are prepared that we'll not check the CLAT answers. So how much influence, or how much what we can say, contribution you have from your family side for your preparation?
Oh, a lot for sure. I think my parents were very involved in my process. My dad, of course, he was always there. He printed like every single mock I did, and he used to keep analyzing all them, like how my scores are increasing and stuff. My mom helped me study a lot, so she'd do the questions with me because I mean I'd get them, but I needed sometimes some motivation, or I'd like tell her my GK so that I could not get bored of it after a while. And of course, my brother's also a lawyer, and he came recently, so he helps keep things lighthearted when I start taking it too seriously. So I think it was a combined effort, honestly. My parents put in a lot of work, just as much as me, honestly. So yeah.
So and that is required, and that is very much required, because an exam is not only an exam of a student, it is an exam of a family. It is an exam of a family, because a student can only gather the knowledge, and can only go there and what do and execute the best, but the complete environment, the mindset the student require, it is very important. And I also requested your father to give us a session of 15 minutes, because last year also Urja's father gave us a session, and that is very much important. Many of the parents praised it, that because of those video people can understand how the parents can help the student so much in their preparation. So now talking about all of this stuff, added to GK, added to mentorship that you took, or added to the career launcher mocks, how did you prepare your other subjects like English, CR, legal, and other things?
Right. So for me, I think, like I said, I've been a reader my whole life, so the reading sections weren't that much of a problem. Math, I did some math every day, so I was also pretty good at maths because the level is not very high for CLAT. You just really need to have the time, and as long as you know those few basic formulae from those topics and you're fast at calculation, it's not much. I mean, I guess that doesn't hold true for this year's CLAT since maths turned out to be pretty hard. But on average, as long as you know the formula, you're still able to crack it. So I did maths, just some practice to get me stay in that mindset every day. And for one thing I noticed is while I was focusing a lot on GK, sometimes my English scores would fall, sometimes my legal score would fall. Um, so it really depends a lot on the mock, because sometimes it was the mock's fault. Like sometimes the drafting was just bad. But it depends, because like I remember one time my legal scores were getting really bad for a while. So I just sat on one day, and for like 2 hours I went back to all the legal questions in like the past 20 mocks I'd done. And then I practiced like 25 plus just principal fact questions, just so that I could make sure that I still knew how to do legal, how to crack that mindset. And the same thing follows. English is still fairly easy if you have a grasp on the language, but logic also, if you keep doing those type of questions, you get in that mindset of what the author is thinking, or what an inference is, what a statement is, assumption. That stuff's pretty, like the basics are pretty important to build a foundation in any of these sections.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And the basics are important, first of all. And talking about the thing that you did in the legal, sitting 2 hours and taking all the mocks, this is what we always teach in our class. That is the sprint method. that whenever a student is stuck in a subject, or whenever they have a plateau formation in the subject, a sprint is required. Because in a sprint, when you give a consistent amount of energy to a particular subject over a period of time, you are going to break it. You're going to break the path, and you are going to reach the score that you want to reach. That is for sure. That is for sure. And talking about added to that, talking about, this is all for CR and for all for CLAT. Talking about AILET, the other reasoning and everything that you prepared, how did you prepare that?
Right. So I had done the earlier last year's AILET paper pretty early on, and I was very comfortable in it because it was very reading based, which was a huge advantage for me. And that is not what the actual AILET paper turned out to be. But that's why I think one advantage was that I had also practiced numerical type logical on the side. Even though I did it, and even I was pretty annoyed, I was like, "There's no way this is gonna come." Even though it did end up coming, so that worked in my favor because AILET is very surprising in its outlook. So it helps to be prepared. So I was doing like blood relations, directions, stuff on the side. So even if it was unexpected, that did end up helping out.
Wow, wow, wow. And other than the studies, Aisha, other than the studies, each and every student have some, what we can say, refuge, or the place where they feel comfortable. Some of my students see movies, watch movies, some play guitar or piano, some are into sports. So what is your other zone other than studies and reading also?
Okay, I don't know if this counts, but for me, I think, yeah, I do agree. Everyone has, I think, something they can't give up even during such competitive exams. And for me, it was honestly sleep. I slept a lot even right before the exam. That's something I didn't give up. Even the day before CLAT and AILET, I slept like 2 hours in the afternoon. Then I slept early. I woke up late. Because the thing is, it really helped keep me energized. Because I'm not a very physical sport-like person. I sleep a lot. And if I didn't sleep that amount of time, I could not focus on anything else. So that's something I knew I couldn't give up on. So I continued doing that.
And how much sleep is your average sleep for a day while you are preparing, or in the end days? Because that is very important question. Many of the student feels that if they compromise on the sleep, they will get better result, and that is completely incorrect. I have told them n number of time that you need to give your body a certain amount of rest so that you can recharge and give your best in the exam. So what was your sleep schedule?
So I'd sleep latest by 12, even though a lot of my friends stayed up a lot later than that. Then I'd wake up by 8:30 actually, or a little bit after that. So solid 8 hours at night. And then I'd also sleep for like an hour and a half in the afternoon just to get myself. I usually did that before the mock or sometimes after the mock. Like I changed it to after the mock later so that so that I wouldn't be sleepy in 2 to 4 time period. But I slept at least once, either after that or before.
Okay, so you have around of 9 and a half hour of sleep every day.
Yeah.
And still, to all the students out there, still she is AIR 4 in AILET. And to all the guys and the girls, beta, it is not only important that how much compromise you're making. It is important that for what sake you are compromising the thing that you are compromising. That is very much important. Just for the sake of compromising thing, don't compromise each and everything. You must have a plan, and for that plan you should compromise the thing in the right manner. That is very important. Do you agree with this, Aisha?
Yes, I think you told this in one of our classes. Sacrifice is not equal. I can't recall it exactly, but I remember the concept was something along the lines of just sacrificing every like good thing in your life is not enough. Yeah, it's not equal to success. I think sacrifice is not equal to success. So I think that kind of holds true here too.
So I am glad that you have also seen our mindset classes.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of Withi. I have watched a lot of her videos. I actually follow her YouTube channel and I watch all her vlogs of NLU Delhi. So I'm really looking forward to meeting her if I do end up going to NLU Delhi. I've watched all of Janvi's videos as well. So I remember watching Be the Predator, Not the Prey, then about Nidhi throwing up. That really helps you motivate.
They are all the very bright and very shiny stars of MEGAGK. Vidhi, Janvi, and Urja, and all of the other students who have made it, and some of all those who have not even made it to the big NLUs, but they are a very star blazer character. है ना? They are a very star blazer character. So Vidhi, talking about Vidhi, a day before yesterday we are also having a word, and she also said we are having the word ki result aa chuka hai, and we know that each and every student is not going to make it, but we also know that each and every student is going to make it in the long run. So
Right.
for sure, if you choose NLU Delhi, you are for sure going to meet Vidhi, and she is a wonderful person. She is a wonderful person. Uh, she was my student in 2020 one exam.
Right.
Then she was my student in 2022 exam, and she is a wonderful person. A
Right.
sorted girl, a girl with a good smile and a brave heart, a very brave heart, a very courageous girl to fight for the dreams. So she is a very good girl. So I hope all those mindset videos of Janvi and Vidhi helped you.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, है
Like
ना?
the day before the exam.
The day before the exam that we took the 17th, the session on the 17th.
Yeah, I mean, I was rewatching all these Vithi and Janvi videos also the day before
Yeah,
because they were about the mindset
that is
especially.
very much important. That is very much important because keeping a healthy mindset, keeping a predator mindset is very much important for the exam. You cannot give up. You cannot give up in your exam because we have burnt our boats when we entered the hall. We have burnt our boat. There is only one way. Take the paper and execute what you know. Execute what you know. Okay, added to that. Added to that, some three points that you want to tell to the students of do's and don'ts for the preparation of AILET as well as of CLAT.
Right. So for don'ts, I guess something as I said before, mock scores will not determine your actual score in the exam. So don't take them as a short way of knowing how you will do in the actual exam. And I guess that holds true for everyone. Another don't would be, like you said, I don't think CLAT is an exam which requires you to give up everything. Like I went out and I had fun. And I think you don't is also not to keep grinding to an extent that you're not taking any breaks. That's pretty important because CLAT is again, I mean, the main subject you really have to study is GK and maybe practice some math. The rest of it is very practice based if you're giving mocks and analyzing. So as long as you're taking enough breaks, it's really not something which should be too much of a problem. Again, sleeping well, eating well is very important there. And I don't know about a third don't, but I've seen, I guess, don't is also the fact that in the exam, you can't be phased by anything that comes. So, again, like I said, I had studied a lot of GK on my own. I tend to forget things as well. But CLAT GK really stumped me, like it threw me off. But I didn't let that phase me because I knew that I tried to at least pull myself up with all my other sections. Similarly, in ALET, of course, the pattern was something which was very shocking to everyone, but you can't let anything phase you because you know that everyone's getting that same paper, right? They're all going to be scored on the exact same stuff that you're being scored on. So as long as you do better than others or to your best capability, it should be more than enough. But yeah, those are the don'ts, I guess. And for do is honestly, it's all just combined. It's just to do your best and prepare to the best of your abilities. And comparing yourself is honestly inevitable to others, but it's not something that should be taken as much to heart as we tend to. So I think, yeah, just that's about it for these.
Okay, so any technical do's for the student? Any thing that you want to tell them that you should focus on this particular thing so that you can improve holistically for your exam?
Right. For the actual paper, some I think it helped me to do math every day. I think that's something people should keep in mind, even if it's just for 30 minutes, just like three passages as would be in the CLAT paper. Because even though the CLAT actual math turned out to be very difficult, I was still able to solve some of them because I had my basics in mind. And reading a lot, you don't have to read like a lot of articles, even on topics like I didn't like science and economics topics at all. So I try to read them and try to, even if I see that my paper started with an economics topic, and if I was very slow in it, I told myself that I need to remember that everyone has different sets. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that someone else is also starting with a really hard topic like mine. So maybe they're going fast because they have a different one. Because I remember the first legal passage for me in CLAT was on data protection, and anything related to cyber science and economics tends to throw me off. But I was like, it's not going to be my first one. And then it came to topics which I enjoyed more. So reading on the daily, different types of topics, you can't stick to the same type. Legal, it really helps to know principles because you're really a lot faster in the actual exam. If you already know what they're talking about, you can't expect yourself to understand those concepts on the spot because it's a very strenuous process there, obviously. And yeah, keeping track of time is very important, especially in ALET because it's a very time constrained exam. So you want to read as fast as you can without, but you have to be able to comprehend it too. So you can't just speed through it. And keeping, I mean, you have to keep time limits. I at least had kept that I will stop here no matter what, which didn't in the actual AILET exam, they didn't even divide it into sections. So again, you have to be prepared for anything. But yeah, you don't want to exceed your time limits because then you won't be able to give enough attention to the questions that you should have.
Exactly. And people can throw anything to you. People can throw anything to you. You have to prepare for that. You have to prepare for that, because this is how exam is all about. This is how exam is all about. Uh, anything else that you want to tell to the students, Ayesha? So before summing up this session, anything that you want to tell the students?
I mean, there's not much to say, but for the people who are giving CLAT and AILET in the next year, I think it's important to understand that it's definitely going to be a process no matter what. It's not going to be something that comes very easily. Time depends on every person, but it's not going to come easily. And it's going to be, like I said, a roller coaster of ups and downs. But it's important to honestly, like I told myself that as long as I have a goal in mind, it's enough to keep me going. And on the final day, like I didn't study like a week. I didn't study strenuously like the entire week before the exam, because whatever you've accomplished in like a year or more is not going to go away if you don't study for one day. It's more important to relax and be calm the day before an exam. So that's more important for everyone, I guess.
Wow, that is very much important, because in the last week of preparation, I remembered a day before preparation, or 2 days before preparation, I remembered attending 50s of calls from a student that said, some I have a viral and I will not be able to study today, whether I'll pass or not. I said, beta, if it is an exam that can be cleared, if it is an exam that cannot be cleared with 1 day of study, then it is an exam that can be cleared with 1 day of study. Then why have you studied for the complete year if it can be cleared for 1 day of study? So then she said, okay, this is true. And this is important. See, if you have worked hard, if you have worked justifiably with your subjects, if you have done what should be done for the complete year, it's not going to wither away so easily. It is not going to wither away so easily, buddy, because this is not how you are not a goldfish. You are not a goldfish. Okay, so you have a memory of a long time. You can retain things, you can execute things, and you are a human being. You can basically execute new things because on the basis of your old retention of different things. And this is how exam is all about. In one of our session, Vidhi told that your I think that is a closed session, so we have not published it. But she told in the closed session that your exam on the exam day, your experience of all the mock, your strategies of all the mock will give you an idea of the strategy that you are now going to opt in the exam. And that is what happened in both the exam, that you have to make a new strategy out there based on of your old strategies and experiences of strategies. So here it is again. Congratulations, Aisha. uh,
Thank you.
you did very good, beta. You did very good. And I hope we'll take your father's session soon, because he is a very interesting person. Yesterday, he also said, Ki, sir, this is, I remembered his voice on the very first note. Mane ki, okay, sir, are you Aisha's father? He said, yes. So we'll take his session very soon. And do always be a part of our MEGAGK Think Manav community, because this is a community that is going to be helped and going to help many of the students in the future. All of our previous students are the part of it. So we'll send the link over the group in our CLAT group soon, of the community group, and be a part of that community. And we'll see you soon in future.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'll hope if you choose Delhi, we'll see you soon.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take care, Aisha. Take care. अपना बहुत ध्यान रखें बेटा. नमस्कार.
Thank you, sir.
जय हिंद. Thank you so much, बेटा. Thank you so much.